in Hattiesburg. I'm your host, Blake Talbert with Southern Miss Today on Southern Miss Radio, bringing you the news and whatnots near you. We have a great show for you lined up today with Mississippi Moments by Yosette Alvarado and a news wrap with Simon Gates. Later, we'll hear from our special guests, Nathan Sanders, Travis Higa, and Alejandro Wooden. So soar with us for a moment because you do not want to miss this. We'll be right back after a word from our sponsor.
Sponsorship for Southern Miss Today comes from Mississippi Beverages. Mississippi Beverages provides water coolers, and coffee service throughout South Mississippi. Take half of your weight in pounds. That's how many ounces of water you need a day. Mississippi Beverages can help you reach that goal by delivering fresh water to your door. To get more information or to set up a cooler and water delivery, you can call Mississippi Beverages at 601-271-2420, or you can find them online. Join Southern Miss Radio on Sunday mornings from 6 a.m. till noon for Sunday Brunch. You'll get jazz and swing music from artists as wide-ranging as Bix Beiderbecke to Brad Meldau, from Dippermouth himself to Esperanza Spalding. But relax, you don't need to know anything about the music to enjoy it. It's a great way to wake up on Sunday morning. Sunday Brunch from 6 a.m. until noon on Southern Miss Radio.
Welcome back, folks. I'm your host, Blake Talbert, with Campus News Today. Law and Order is coming to Mississippi with the announcement of improvements to a building on campus for the School of Criminal Justice, Forensic Science, and Security. This $16.6 million project is coming underway as it hopes to finish in June of 2025. Along with the remodeling of the old School of Kinesiology and Nutrition, this plan includes the building of school's very own courtroom. This will help the learning process. School Director Dr. Brenda Rowe stated, "The faculty and staff of the School of Criminal Justice, Forensic Science, and Security are so excited that renovations have begun. Moving into our new building will provide much-needed additional faculty and staff office space, dedicated conference rooms, additional classroom space, and increased lab space for our forensic science labs. With over 500 students coming through this program, it only does them justice to get this building." Also, don't forget, tonight, in HUB 100 at the Prism Center, GEMS, Gender Equity Movement, and STEM, and Prism are hosting a workshop titled Rejection in Academia, Rewrite Your Story. So if you're looking for a good pick-me-up and inspiration to turn your frown upside down, make sure you head on out tonight and get inspired. For Hattiesburg News, more than USM is getting a little tender love and care. Schools and offices such as Hawkins Elementary School, Hattiesburg High, and the district's central office will see some updates in the future thanks to the Hattiesburg Public School District. Superintendent Robert Williams stated, "We want to make sure that we're using all of our funds in an effective manner, but we also want to make sure that we're using our funds that will have the most impact in what will take place in the classroom. So putting as many dollars as close to the students as possible, and that begins with safe learning spaces, making sure that they have an environment that is not only safe, but also welcoming." Some renovations will include structural upgrades to Hawkins Elementary in the district's central office and a new girls' softball facility for Hattiesburg High. And the construction, they're planning to finish up about the end of 2024. So great news for our community. Lots of rebuilding going on. As for Mississippi news, ladies and gentlemen, coming to Harrison County is, drumroll please, our very own Buc-ee's. Yesterday marked a monumental day for Mississippians as construction broke ground at 11 a.m. For those of you who don't know, Buc-ee's is the world's largest gas station. Their floor plan for the facility is to be around 74,000 square feet with 120 fueling stations and 24 EV charging points. The location will be at I-10 and Minge Avenue. Drinks, snacks, Texas barbecue, fudge, kolaches, bathrooms your mother would be so proud of, and the only legendary Beaver Nuggets. Buc-ee's was founded by Arch Beaver Applin III in 1982, and after the finish of this station, there will be 47 operating Buc-ee's across the South. The formation of Buc-ee's will not only help us as travelers, but many people in Harrison County, as the store provides over 200 jobs and a starting pay at about $16 an hour, and only goes up from there. If you've not been to one of these gas stations, I suggest you go right now. For many people, this place is not just a gas station, it's a destination. That's your news update from Southern Miss Today. Up next, we'll have the latest in sports and weather, so stay tuned. We'll be back right after a word from our sponsors.
Sponsorship for Southern Miss Today comes from Mississippi Beverages. Mississippi Beverages provides water, water coolers, and coffee service throughout South Mississippi. Take half of your weight in pounds. That's how many ounces of water you need a day. Mississippi Beverages can help you reach that goal by delivering fresh water to your door. To get more information or to set up a cooler or water delivery, you can call Mississippi Beverages at 601-271-2420, or you can find them online.
Look through your children's eyes to see the true magic of a forest. It's a storybook world for them. You look and see a tree. They see the wrinkled face of a wizard with arms outstretched to the sky. They see treasure in pebbles. They see a windy path that could lead to adventure. And they see you, their fearless guide through this fascinating world.
Find a forest near you and start exploring at discovertheforest.org. Brought to you by the United States Forest Service and the Ad Council.
Welcome back with our action-packed sports segment. Let's dive into the latest scores, highlights, and all things sports. Get your jerseys on, because it's game time. First things first, no putt-putt golf with our Eagles around. Men's golf has claimed first out of 16 teams in yesterday's Argent Financial Classic. All of our Eagles gave an outstanding performance, with all registering at par on the playoff hole. This win makes the team's sixth tournament win under the coach Eddie Brescher. Coach stated, "Beyond proud of our team and the way they played this week. This group is special, talented, and extremely hardworking. We got behind a few shots in the middle, too late part of the round, but our guys showed a ton of maturity grinding to the finish. It is extremely difficult to win in college golf, and to win this event in back-to-back years is something special. Words cannot express how proud I am of our team and for the strides our program continues to make." More to come from our men's golf next weekend as they head to Cincinnati, Ohio for the Bearcat Invitational, September 18th through the 19th, so stay tuned. Great news with USM's women's soccer as junior from Ontario, Canada, Adara Nakano has been named the Offensive Player of the Week for her outstanding performance in the game against Nichols this last Sunday. For those of you who don't know, Nakano played a crucial role in 4 goals against Nichols, with 1 assist and a hat trick of her own, so hats off to her. In the world of football, our Eagles get ready for the home game this Saturday at 3 p.m. at The Rock. At yesterday's practice, Will Hall commented on the excitement the players feel. "Great Tuesday, great weather. I thank the good Lord for that," he stated. We had a lot of energy and juice today. Our kids are excited to get back out there. We're excited for this week, huge rivalry game against the best group of 5 teams in America right now, coming off of their performance last year. I've got a lot of respect for their program and their head coach, their coordinators, their quarterback, and just how they do things. I was blessed to be a part of it for 2 years, and I'm thankful for that. This game means a lot to the people at Southern Miss, and our kids certainly understand that. Our staff does, and we're looking to respond to this week and have a great week of practice to show that we have a good football team, because we know we do. So come on out and support us for this great game. It's going to be a good rivalry and lots of fun, so stay tuned. And to keep up with the Golden Eagles and sports activities, head on over to southernmiss.com to hear more. As for our weather today, we have partly cloudy skies, but mostly sunny, and our temperature sitting at about 87 degrees. Temperature is expected to climb up to about 91 degrees, and our low is looking at about 71. Chances of rain today are looking at about 50% come 3 p.m., so get those umbrellas ready and fingers crossed. This evening, chances are going to slack off to about the 20 to 30% chance range, and they'll carry over to tomorrow, where the weather's going to dip down to about an 87 as a high and 69 as your low. As we approach Friday, we simmer down to little to no chance of rain, and temperatures will open up to a higher range at about 92 degrees as our high and 68 as our low. Up next, we'll have Mississippi Moments produced by the Center of Oral History and Cultural Heritage. Today, we're going to hear from Josette Alvarado talking about their decision to stay in the United States or to return back to Honduras. So check it out.
This is Mississippi Moments, produced by the Center for Oral History and Cultural Heritage at the University of Southern Mississippi and supported by the Mississippi Humanities Council. I'm Bill Ellison. For Josette Altamirano, studying music in the United States has been a great opportunity. She relates feeling torn between staying here and returning to Honduras.
The reason which I would like to stay here is because the situation in my country is not good for artists. You see, that's the thing. If you're a musician, whatever you are, it's like you are going backwards. So that's the reason why I would like to stay here. Because, my husband is also a musician, so he knows that if we come back to Honduras, he actually doesn't have too much to do that. He would like to play in a fine orchestra. He would like to do audition for, to a big orchestra here in the United States. So I'm not so sure about my future right now. Believe me, I really would like to go back to my country because now I feel that I'm more able to do more stuff than I was before because I have more experiences, musical experiences that I didn't have back then. So I feel more comfortable I could go back to Honduras and actually do a better job.
To hear more, visit MississippiMoments.org or just like us on Facebook. Mississippi Moments is supported by the Mississippi Humanities Council. The humanities are for everyone.
Thank you so much, Miss Alvarado, for telling us about your experiences. That was your Mississippi Moment for today. And coming up, we have the pleasure to hear from not only Nathan Sanders and Travis Higa, but also Alejandro Wooden. Nathan Sanders and Travis Higa are with us for the Pride of Mississippi, talking about their future and the upcoming year. And Mr. Alejandro Wooden is going to be talking to us about the Hattiesburg Arts Council. So stick with us. We'll be right back after a message from our sponsors.
Sponsorship for Southern Miss today comes from Mississippi Beverages. Mississippi Beverages provides water coolers, and coffee service throughout South Mississippi. Take half of your weight in pounds. That's how many ounces of water you need a day. Mississippi Beverages can help you reach that goal by delivering fresh water to your door. To get more information or to set up a cooler and water delivery, you can call Mississippi Beverages at 601-271-2420, or you can find them online.
Hello, I'm Dr. Ed Simpson, Director of the School of Media and Communication at USM. Join me on Southern Miss Radio Friday afternoons at 12:30 for a new show, News You Need. On News You Need, USM students will discuss current events and why those events are important to them. Listen in on how the future citizens of the U.S. consider news and how those news events affect their lives. Join me for News You Need, Fridays at 12:30 on Southern Miss Radio.
Welcome back, everyone. Please give a golden equal welcome to Alejandro Wooden. How are we doing today?
I'm doing good. Thank you guys for inviting me back to my alma mater as the representative of the Hattiesburg Arts Council as the executive director. So
good to have you. Good to have you.
Tell us
a little bit about the Art Council.
Yeah, well, the Arts Council is an organization that's been operating now for 54 years. It's independent 501c3. We have wonderful supporters and sponsors. We have a 15-member board, and we bring so many wonderful programs to the public. Most of them are always free and open to the public, unless we are doing a specific fundraiser, which we still try to keep that a low-cost thing,
Right, right. You don't want to
everyone has an opportunity to participate.
Right, that's awesome.
Yeah.
So what we got coming up in the community?
Okay, well, coming up, and I think it's right at about 2 weeks away, we have the Artists Across Borders, and it's a fine art exhibit. We'll be featuring Hector Boldo, Alan Chen, who actually is a professor, professor here at USM in the ceramic department. We have Andrea Kostjo. We have Betty Press, who at one point she was a teacher or professor here. I'm not 100% sure. But Hector Boldo has been doing a lot of the murals around town. I know Andrea Kostjo has at least one coming up. The theme of the show being Artists Across Borders is that their artwork, they're collaborating together, and they're also kind of making statements about all the people that come to this country for opportunity. And we're also going to include, I guess you could say, the culinary arts into this, in that we're going to have a full cultural experience, in that we're going to have 4 different types of food. Hector Boldo, being from Mexico City, is going to have Mexican food. Alan Chen, being from China, is going to have Chinese food. Andrea Kostjo, being from Hungary, is going to have Hungarian. And then Betty Press does a lot of her work that's inspired by, I believe, East Africa. So she's going to have East African food. All of this, again, is free and open to the public, so you don't have to pay a dime.
Sign me up. That's
okay.
You just said food.
You should be there. All of these things are going to be that's going to take place Saturday, September 23rd The reception will go from 3 to 6. Basically, from 3 to 3:30, come meet the artist. The reception kicks off at 3:30 to 6 p.m. And that's at the Hattiesburg Cultural Center, which is the old library downtown. The best way to keep up with anything that the Hattiesburg Arts Council is doing, even more so than our website, is to follow us on Facebook. We do have Instagram, but when you have information, it's easier to see all that on Facebook.
And what is that Facebook account?
Oh, it's Hattiesburg Arts Council.
Simply Hattiesburg.
Yes.
Awesome.
It's
That's
Hattiesburg
super
Arts
easy.
Council business page at Facebook.
Awesome.
Next, a program that that is now in its 30th year is the October Brown Bag, which takes place in the Fountain Park right behind City Hall. And we always have every Thursday from 11:30 until 1. We'll have a musical act. We'll have food from a local restaurant in town. We have all of our sponsors, and we'll sell a lunch for $7 out of a food truck. Now, you can bring your own lunch, do what you want. Come and have a good time. Okay. I will mention one more. I don't like to throw too much out there because it gets people like, wait a minute, I can't keep up.
All the
But
dates, all the
it's
dates
just
and
too much
everything.
dates. Again, Facebook, you'll figure it all out. One more thing that I think students would be interested in, art students or even students who are not necessarily majoring in art, but they may draw or paint or sculpt or whatever they do on the side. We do a call for artists, for emerging artists, meaning someone who has never shown, let's say, at a major gallery. They don't really sell their work, but they want to get maybe a little bit of, hey, look what I do. Okay, so we put out that call. The call is actually open now. You'll see, again, all of this on Facebook, which will then lead you to our website for the application form and all of that. The website is indeed HattiesburgArtsCouncil.com. Okay, fairly easy. The deadline for the submissions is October 24th of this year. And then the show is a little bit later, but I'm not gonna hog the mic, okay?
No, it's all good.
All right.
It's all good.
Any other questions I can answer for you?
Well, how is so we have a lot of events coming up. How have you seen this really benefit the community?
It includes people. It makes them feel the arts, music, dance, theater, poetry, culinary, especially culinary, because I think when people eat each other's food, then they go, oh wow, hey, I like you because your food's good, right?
Right.
It makes people feel included, and the arts go back to the beginning of the dawn of man. When you have cave paintings, you have things of that nature. The arts bring out a part of us that gets communicated without words, because a lot of us speak different languages. We can't really communicate with words, but we can communicate with sound and movement and visual symbols and things of that nature.
A picture says 1,000 words, right?
You said that. Yes.
Tells the whole story.
It does all day long.
awesome.
Yes, indeed.
Thank you. That's I mean, hey, I think everybody should go to this Facebook page right now and
right
sign up,
now.
follow right now, because
Follow us, definitely.
connection all around.
It'll keep you updated.
And speaking of connection,
Yeah.
I know
Yeah.
with today we got Mr. Sanders, Nathan Sanders, and Travis Higa, Travis Higa. Sorry, I don't want to get your name wrong.
You're good.
I know y'all have a little bit of a connection
There
going on.
is.
We have today as well, like I said, Nathan Sanders and Travis Higa from the Pride of Mississippi. You used to be in the Pride of Mississippi.
I was. I marched one year, 1987. Yes, I'm a little older, but I look good, don't I?
Hey,
look
you
at me. Would you?
Not a day over 30.
50. I know, 54. Okay.
you go.
Anyway, and they'll talk about in a moment the alumni band, things of that nature, which I will be participating in. So I'll let you segue on to them. But the Pride gave me a lot of my closest friends are musicians. So
It's arts.
yeah,
It's
I'll
arts.
let you move on to these guys.
So how are you guys doing today?
Doing well. How are you doing?
Good, good. So tell us a little bit about the Pride of Mississippi. What's going on this year?
Absolutely. So the Pride of Mississippi, we're already off to a great start. We had our first game when Alcorn was here a few weeks ago. It was a really great showing of the Pride of this season. And that's all of the hard work that started. When was that? In
Months
August.
ago.
And, yeah, the planning for this starts a long time ago, but whenever the students got here, we got here 10 days before school started. And we just started working and learning and growing as a band. And it's all in preparation for these first games that are coming up. And one thing that's rattling in my brain is the first 4 games happens in the first 6 weeks of of school, which is quite a feat, a lot that we have to prepare for. But they've been troopers. They're sounding and looking great. And even navigating the weather that we've experienced this summer, they have just been on fire. So,
yeah, quite literally on fire.
Hey, we've been cooling off as well.
Yeah, and so how you said you had some weather things like that. So with the practices that y'all looked amazing. What was the biggest drive that you guys have held on to that's helped you push through these hard times with the weather and things like that?
I think the standard of excellence that everyone has sort of drives us to keep pursuing the goal, right? Because the show has to be learned. Halftime is going to happen, and it's going to be good. Nobody cares. Nobody knows it was 120 degrees on Pride Field,
It was not 120 degrees.
It was not. It was about 114.
It felt like 125, though, right?
But one thing that's really cool is that this is our 103rd iteration of the Pride of Mississippi, which extends back a lot of alumni. They have set the framework for how we function and how we have been continuing to function for many years now. And this group of students have really picked up where last year's group left it. And we're continuing to push it forward, and that wouldn't have been possible without the other 102 iterations of the Pride of Mississippi.
Right. You just build off of each other and keep going forward.
Absolutely. And once everyone becomes an alumni, they're part of this huge network that they can look back to, that they can be a part of, and in 5, 10, 15, 20 years from now, they have a home here where they can always come back and support and keep pushing forward as well.
That's awesome. And I heard mention of an alumni show that y'all are putting on.
Yes.
Yeah, I don't remember.
That's on November 25th. It's our last game of the season. So one thing I don't know that everyone knows about the Pride of Mississippi, for every home game that we have here, we do perform a brand new halftime show. So we're constantly learning new halftime shows for each game so that the crowd is entertained. They're not seeing the same show over and over again. And so for our last game of the season, it's the alumni band and senior show. And that's a good time for our seniors to become alumni of the organization and also to bring back the alumni to see the full circle of what we do here.
I can just feel it. It's just chills. It's so cool. Like, I just imagine this whole wave of just sound.
It's very cool. Is that the one where we play Amazing Grace?
We do play Amazing Grace.
We play this really cool version of Amazing Grace that is just gorgeous. It's one of my favorite things that we do here, I think.
Yeah, and I saw y'all in last home game, y'all did a combination with Dynamite, correct? How did y'all facilitate that with being at 2 different schools?
Well, it was a lot of just communication back and forth with their band directors, and they were just fantastic to work with, a great collaboration. And once they got on campus, we navigated a quick 30-minute rehearsal with both bands together. And once we all felt comfortable, we were just ready to perform. If everyone does their part, it should be really easy to click in together. And so that was a really cool event. On that first game, we had, I think, 450 people on the field. And what's really exciting about this coming weekend, we are hosting the All South Marching Band. We have about 320 high school students that will be on campus experiencing the game day with us. And the Tulane Band will also be in attendance as well. So they'll be joining us for this week's halftime performance. We'll have 655 people on that field this weekend.
Wait a minute, 650 people on that? I think it's a record. I don't think there's been that many people on the field before.
You heard it here. Records being set right now.
The drill chart. He showed me the drill chart yesterday, and there's no space on the field. It's just ink all over the page. That's gonna be really loud. It's gonna be really cool.
That's gonna be awesome.
I think close to 100 drummers.
Close to 100 drummers. Yeah, that's gonna be a lot.
You got Mr. Alejandro over here just wanting to come on, let me on the field.
Yeah. Well, I mean, when I participate in an alumni band and we do the Amazing Grace, literally I'm out there on the field and tears are just, and the crowd, tears, people are just just throwing flowers and cats. I mean, people are just having a fit because that's something very Southern, the Amazing Grace, and it's very, very, very emotional. It pulls at your heartstrings. Am I
Well,
right?
you're talking about the arts. That's
Yeah.
what draws people
Yeah.
closer. Even from the stands, they're drawn into the field. It's a really cool moment with whatever's happening with the game. At halftime, you hear everyone just get, silent and just taking a moment. So, really awesome thing happening with the Pride of Mississippi and the arts in Hattiesburg.
Super excited. Thank you guys so much for being on the show today. It's been such a pleasure just to have all just talking about the arts because it really does just connect us together. And I'm excited to see what happens with Pride of Mississippi, especially this coming weekend with the game coming up. And excited for the Arts Council and all the different events coming up. So make sure to head out online, keep in contact with Facebook, and keep in contact with Pride of Mississippi because we got great things coming up here in Hattiesburg. Up next, thank you so much to our guests, Nathan, Travis, and Alejandro. Up next, we have a great news wrap from Simeon Gates talking about USM's career services and about the importance of starting early when considering a career. So check it out, and we'll be right back after that.
It's the question many college students dread. What do you want to do after you graduate? Many enter college without much of an idea of what they want to do. It's normal to not have everything figured out, but there are resources available to help. At USM, Trio Student Support Services and Career Services are two such places. The Career Services Office provides USM students with information on career readiness and job seeking. They have resources for every step of the job search and are available to current students and alumni. Dr. Mary Beard, Manager of Career Counseling, on the biggest mistakes students make.
Absolutely. The biggest mistake that students make when thinking about careers or jobs is just waiting too late to start. So they think that, oh, I'm a senior, or oh, I'm a freshman, I can wait till I'm a senior, or oh, I'm a senior, I can wait till the second semester, and then they just start too late, and they regret doing that.
For many students, simply getting into college was enough of a feat. Students who are first generation, disabled, and or meet certain income requirements should apply to Trio Student Support Services. Trio SSS is a federally funded program that provides tutoring, peer mentorship, a computer lab, and more. Applications for this school year are due November 3rd. Trio's director, Dr. Adina Green, spoke about why students should be engaged.
It's important for students to engage in any and every activity that's going to help them to be successful in college. And so Trio is just one of those wonderful resources that Southern Miss has that helps students, again, to achieve their goals. And so I think
more information on these and other resources for students, visit usm.edu/help. Simeon Gates, SM2 News.
Thank you to Nathan, Dr. Higa, and Alejandro for being here today. Also, a huge thanks to our audio engineer, Shanta, and Michaela, our video producer, for keeping this bird flying. Big shout out to our assistant producers, Shaylin and Huey, as well as our executive producer, Miss Whitney, program director, Shania, and our general manager, Dr. Martin. That wraps up our show for Southern Miss Today. Thank you for tuning in, and remember, soar high to the sky and fly, eagle, fly. I'm your host, Blake Talbert, signing off for now.